Would you dial it on there, please? At least I can start.
And now we are live on YouTube as well.
Okay, good. Welcome to the October meeting of the Buffalo Fiscal Stability Authority's Governance Committee. Our agenda today includes the review of a new policy of conflicts of interest rule with recommendations to the full board for approval. We will also conduct our annual compilation of the results from the annual Board of Directors self-evaluation, which will be performed in executive session. First, I will take the roll call. Chair Olson is here. Interim Vice Chair Jurzak.
Present.
Director Floyd, Floss is present.
Present,
And-
sorry.
No problem. And Secretary Arthur is excused. So a quorum of the committee is present. First time of business is to approve the minutes of the committee's meeting held on August 3rd, 2020. The draft minutes and the accompanying draft resolution are located under tab 1 in your board book. Are there any proposed changes, deletions, or alterations of the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The next item of business is to review the draft conflicts of interest policy, which has been provided to us under tab 1. Jeanette will review this item with us.
Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you. One of the activities that we conduct regularly to ensure that, to the best of our ability, that the authority is current with best practices related to governance is to review the New York State Authority's Budget Office website for any new policy guidance. Recently, a recommended practice for a conflicts of interest policy was posted as a recommended practice, and a copy of this recommended practice was provided to you under tab 1 of your board book. Public authorities are advised by the ABO to adopt a conflicts of interest policy. I do want to note that within our code of ethics, there is a conflicts of interest portion of that policy as well. So this is an embellishment or an addendum to what we have in our conflicts of interest policy. So a copy of our draft policy was provided under tab 1 as just a minor point of clarification. It was dated from a prior scheduled board meeting, so we'll be updating that date just to coincide with when the board actually approves it later today. The policy was modeled off of the recommended practice. It outlines what procedures are to be followed if a potential conflict of interest arises for any director or employee. It outlines what procedures are to be followed if a conflict is identified. That includes essentially recusal and abstention from any decisions that would be made involving that particular person. It does provide for reporting of violations, and penalties for such violation may be assessed in accordance with law that is outlined primarily, and public authorities law also. And there is a certification statement to be signed and submitted by each director, each proxy member for the ex officio members, and by each employee. So that's just my high level comments on this policy. I'm happy to take any questions or review the policy with you, or anything that you might want to know.
Any questions for Jeanette? Any comments? Okay, ma'am.
Who is,
Pardon? Go ahead.
this is Jeanette. Who is the Public Authorities Ethics Officer?
That is, it's the executive director. It falls under my umbrella. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Is it always the executive director, or is it, that's a local decision?
That's a local decision. It's always been
Okay.
executive director for the BFSA,
All right.
to my knowledge.
I think we're all very pleased that you're doing it. Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay. May I have a motion to recommend the approval of this policy to the full board?
As moved.
Second, any comments? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Our remaining item of business is to compile the board's self-evaluation from those individually submitted to BFSA staff. This formal evaluation process is an annual requirement. The New York State Authority's Budget Office has provided guidance that this process should be conducted confidentially, with the results compiled in an executive session. Consistent with that, I will therefore ask for a motion to convene into executive session.
So moved.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Neil, say that again.
Yes, I said we're voting now. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We're now in executive session. I will make a motion to reconvene the public portion of our meeting as we conclude. The committee has compiled the results of the self-evaluation. Is there a
Chair
motion?
I just want to make sure that we're not recording at this.
Yeah, Chair Olson, I am going to ask that we pause right now. Nathan's going to move us into what's called a breakout room.
Okay,
And then we can talk about that in executive session. We're
sounds good.
Yeah,
up with our
and
technology here. We've been practicing.
God forbid anybody might hear this.
I know. Nathan, would you please move us to a breakout?
yep, and I wanted to add that the main room is still live. The breakout room does not go onto YouTube, is not recorded.
Okay, welcome back, Jeanette. Okay, is there any new business to address? Okay, hearing none. This will conclude the governance committee of the Buffalo Fiscal Stability Authority. Is there a motion that we adjourn? Jeanette?
I'll say it for her, so moved.
Thank you, Fred. I'll second by acclamation. Okay.